Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we have week 3 of building Dantooine in LEGO. And of course, if you haven't already, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe as well as hit that notification bell. That way you stay updated with all that I upload. But with that guys, let's get started. So jumping right into it, today we are going to focus primarily on the exterior of the MOC, and as you can see, I have already made some notable changes. Now originally I was going with green as the terrain for the exterior of the MOC, but I decided to change things up a little bit, and we're actually now going to go with dark tan instead, and I just think that looks much better overall. We are also going to intersperse it with a little bit of reddish brown here and there. Now because we're going for dark tan on the base, I actually decided that I have quite a few dark tan slopes as well, so I thought, what if I do the base of the mountain as well in dark tan, and then we have it flooding into dark bluish gray. So as you can see, I have experimented with that idea right here, and I do quite like how it turned out. But that is it for what I have done on the exterior. Now over here I have done a very minor change, and you probably won't actually notice it. Now originally this doorway was actually around 6 studs to the right, and to be honest, I cannot remember why I did that. So I decided, why don't I make everything symmetrical and put it exactly in the middle? And I don't know, there's something about it that I feel just makes much more sense to have it directly in the middle. I have also done a little bit of experimenting here, putting a number on the floor. I just thought that would look kind of cool. And as you can see, I put 01, indicating, you know, the number 1 vehicle, which is going to be the turbo tank. Haven't really done anything else here. Now you can see this little pillar or base of a pillar right here is going to be the main support structure for the command center that will eventually stand up right here. But I just wanted to put it there. That way I don't obstruct it by putting another building in front of it accidentally. Now I've also worked a little bit over here trying to work on a design. Now originally I didn't actually want to put a separation between the hangar and this area here, because I was like, it's the inside of the base, it's all supposed to be connected. But I felt, you know, there's a big opening for the hangar, and that's where the planes are, and you don't really want all that cold air and everything flooding into the base, so it makes sense to have some kind of separation. So I played around with this idea right here. I'm not sure how much I like it. Sorry about the lighting, it's not really catching the light well right now. But I've just played around with some slopes and these big panel pieces to see what I could come up with. Now it looks pretty good on this side, I would say, for just a basic design, but I'm not sure how it looks on that side, which is a little bit boring. And before we continue, I also want to give you a look at the inside of my rock work with all the filler brick. Now here's a top tip from me. If you are ever building rock work, I suggest you invest, instead of getting a lot of pieces in terms of bricks, I would go with pieces more like this. So these are empty, just normal door frames like that. And the reason why is because, as you can see, these would be the equivalent to 6 2x4 bricks, and those are usually much heavier. These are not only lighter, but they're much cheaper to find as well, and they will take up much more space. So top tip, use those door frames if you're supporting up a large rock structure. So to kickstart the building for this week, the BrickLink order that I was talking about last week finally came in, and I am really excited to get it opened up. It's pretty big, and it's jam-packed full of a ton of slopes that will help us to get a lot of progress on these rock walls. So let's get it opened. So here are the contents of this BrickLink order, and I'll give you all a quick run through, but before that I'll give a quick shout out to this seller, Figs Bricks. He is an awesome seller, even included a Haribo gummy packet, so awesome seller. Go check him out on BrickLink. So this is the main reason why I came to this seller. I got over 300 of these slopes, which is really going to help us, especially with this wall over here. I did try to go for a little bit of variety, so I got a few of these smaller slopes just to diversify a little bit. These slopes are going to be used for a tree, which I'm planning on building on the outside. I got some light bluish gray slopes here so that I can work a little bit on the interior. These 3 slopes, actually this not really going to be included in this mock, just more from my personal collection. These olive green slopes will be used on the outside, and I think it will look really nice with the dark tan. And then these actually, well, of course I was originally planning on making it green, which is why I got these. But now that I'm not making it green, I'm not sure if I'm actually going to use those for this mock. Moving over here, I got a bunch of these pieces, and this I'm planning on using to make some pipes on the interior of the base. I think that will look really cool in the end. This I picked up just because he had it. These are described on BrickLink as energy pieces. I believe they came from Marvel sets, but as you can see, it's a mixture of kind of explosions and splats and stuff like that, and I think it looks really, really cool. Over here, I got 200 of these 2x2 tiles, which will, of course, be used to build up this area over here. And then wrapping it up, we have three different packets of minifigures. The first one is Obi-Wan Kenobi right here, the Clone Wars version, as well as Mace Windu. And finally, we have Asajj Ventress, 3 figures which I do not own, and I am very glad to have now. And of course, these will all be coming into this mock. Then rounding it off right here, we have a packet of just a few pieces. These ones will be used in conjunction with these as well for the slopes, whereas this one is going to be used as Ahsoka's hairpiece. So I actually have the Ahsoka minifigure right here, but I lost her hairpiece quite a long time ago. And quite by luck, he happened to have a hairpiece, which is why I picked it up. And now I can have a completed Ahsoka figure. And then the last and final bag right here is going to be an IG-88 unit. Alright guys, so the clip you were actually just watching was from a few days ago, and since then I have definitely made a ton of progress, but something unexpected came in the mail today. Now I was thinking this was going to come next week, but I have a package for you guys. Yes, another package for the same video. So that means that this week is going to be jam-packed with a lot of progress. So let me dive into this box as well and show you what I got. So the main contents of this package are going to be these right here, over 200 of these 2x6 bricks, and these are going to be used all over throughout the interior of the mock. Over here we have some 2x2x3 bricks, and these are going to be used predominantly for building pillars and also the edge of the hangar bay opening. We have some curved slopes right here that will be used in some specific places. I have some ideas for those. We have some 1x3 bricks. And over here we have a whole assortment of light bluish gray plates. Right here we've got some light bluish gray 1x1 round plates with the hole in the middle. And those have a pretty specific purpose, not necessarily for this mock, but I'll get onto that. We have some dark tan plates just to help out with the exterior. Over here we have an assortment of vegetation or foliage. Here we have 200 of these regular green grass stem pieces, as well as some olive green of, I'm not sure what this plant piece is called, but you can see it right here. Those are really cool and unique. We have some 1x1 bricks which will be used for building trees, as well as some olive green cheese slopes. And then rounding it off, we have some dark bluish gray bricks. Alright guys, so without hiding anything from you, this is what I've been able to get done this week. And as you may have noticed, I didn't really work that much on the exterior down here like I said I was going to do. Instead, with all those new pieces that came in this week, I decided to change things up a bit, and I worked a lot on this kind of mountain facade over here, as well as a lot on the interior, which I will show you guys in a bit. But starting off over here, the mountain has grown a lot since the last time you guys saw it. This side was about right here the last time, and this one was about here. So you can see it has grown quite a lot, and now we have a door in place as well. Now guys, I can actually show it to you as well. It does move. Both of these sides do as well. So this is what it would look like when it's closed, and I think that really does look super cool. Up here we have the beginnings of a command center. Of course, it's not done, not even the rock work on the outside, but it's just a very rough sketch for me to get started on for next week. But this is not going to be the final height of the mountain. Again, this is going to go on top of the command center. It's actually going to be about right here, because when it runs across, it's also going to have to go across the gunship hangar bay. Now this area I didn't work too much on, although I did do one minor change, which I think I might just mention right now. So before, now this is very minor, you might not even notice it. This was actually right here. And it was the same thing on the other side. And what that meant is that I could include some slopes on this side and on that side, just to show that there is rock on both sides of the hangar, and it's not just there. But the problem was, when I did that, what would happen is it was very, very close where the wings were compared to where the door was. And I made the ultimate decision just to move it 2 studs to the side right here. That way it gives me just a little bit more space, so that when the gunship comes out, now you can see it does fit much more comfortably through the opening. So that's a minor thing over here. And the rest of the changes are all on the inside of the base. So I'm going to turn this thing around and show you what I've done. So here is a look at the inside of the base. And before I get into all of the details, I'll give you all a quick run through of the base itself. Here is the command center up here, and I'm going to leave these 3 walls open just because I want more easy access onto the command center itself. Because it's much higher up than all of the other buildings, it's not really going to be blocking anything. And it's supported by these 2 pillars right here, and I quite like how they've got a pretty slim profile, so they're not really blocking anything. Here's a look at the door from the inside as well as the walls, and I try to give a little bit of detail to them but not have them kind of speak and be in your face too much. So I just use these panels, but I inverted them, that way there's a little bit of an in-depth, giving it a little bit of character, I would say. Here's a better look at the floor, and I finally found that last tile piece, so I've been able to complete this center section. And then here's a better look at kind of the tiling right here, going for a very minimalist look, so I didn't want to go too much with the small tiles and whatever. I'm sure these will do fine. Here is a look at this building that I'm building up right here. This first floor or ground floor is going to be the medic's bay, and I really like this long window. It actually kind of looks a bit like Mandalore or Camino. I really like the look of it. And there's the door at the end. Up here is going to be a supply room right here, and then back there is the barracks. So I'll actually start with the first floor over here and give you all a look. Here is the barracks. Now, you might think it is quite small, and yeah, it is, but I have to do the best with what I have. Here are 4 bunk beds that I'm going to have, and then at this level, I am going to put a roof. Over here is going to be a small supply room where we will have guns, helmets, everything like that. And for this window, I'm going to try and go for the same design right here as I did for down here, but obviously on a much smaller scale. Then, what I have done to be able to get onto the bottom floor is I've actually used this right here. So this is an old Lego piece, and I believe this is a 10 by 20 brick. Yeah, a brick. And this is what it looks like from the bottom. So it doesn't really have anywhere for studs to hook on. So what that allowed me to do is, hopefully nothing breaks, but I can take this whole thing off in one piece, and here is the medic's bay down here. Now, it does look a little bit empty at the moment, and I'll be able to fill it up with people and other things in the episodes to come. But here are the bed designs, and I really like the look of these, very sleek, minimalistic, and going with the whole clone style. So there's that. We also have the back tank right here. So there was a look at what we've been able to get done so far on the base, and I am really happy with the progress we were able to get done this week. Now, in terms of what we're going to be doing next week, cross my fingers because I might change my mind again, just like I did this week. But next week, we should be working on the exterior over here, as well as raising the height of the mountain. But with that, guys, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.